Coming to you live from Naples, Florida's Paradise Coast, where champions are crowned. We're going to find out who's playing who in the single largest event in youth football. The path to Naples is about to begin. This is the 2019 FBU National Championship Tournament East Bracket Draw Show. Glad to have you with us again, this time from the Paradise Coast. I'm Chad Ricardo, joining me Football University President, Mr. Steve Quinn, and also National Recruiting Director, my brother, Mr. Erik Richards. Gentlemen, it's time for the FBU National Championship Tournament. Are we excited here?
Woo, back in this weather? I mean, come on, it's 72 degrees out here. Put on a suit in October?
Path to Naples kicks off down here on the Paradise Coast. There can only be one true national championship tournament, and of course the Football University FBU National Championship Tournament is that. 32 teams over 3 different grade levels, that's 96 teams in total, over 3,500 student athletes, and that's going to encompass 24 states.
Yeah, Chad, it's 3,500 plus athletes spread across 96 teams in 32 cities. The best of the best, right? All these all-stars coming together with about 3 weeks of practice to get ready. Some teams only average 6 to 9 practices before they come down and compete, and then it's lights on, right, for game one.
And the thing that I love the most about this is that every year the FBU National Championship Tournament, it gets bigger, it gets better.
Hard to imagine this is year 5 already, right? We've actually moved Football University down here to beautiful Naples, Florida, Collier County. The last year's event it was 15 million impressions, right? So when you talk about the James Cooks of the world and the Trevor Lawrences of the world, they got their start here, right? Everybody knew who they were before they even stepped on a high school football field because of this tournament. And so obviously Naples is excited about it. They're building a sports complex down here. The icing on the cake is when it opens up, the grand opening May 1st. And then next year in 2020, Erik, we're playing in the brand new stadium and hopefully on NBC Sports, as we've talked about. So it couldn't be any bigger and the stage couldn't be any greater.
And Steve, you kind of speak to this next point here. This is about truly so much more than just the football. This is an experience for the student athletes and for all of the families. What all do we offer?
100%. Championship week is much bigger than just these football games. I was talking to some gentlemen yesterday during some of our things we were doing out here in Naples already, and they're telling me the experience is much more about football than football. They're meeting friends when they come down here. They're social media friends for the rest of their lives. They're talking about how they can get better at recruiting. They're talking about things that are propelling them to the next level. And so, as you mentioned, the experience when they come down here, you just can't beat the experience. And then the camaraderie, right, with all the coaches and the families, and getting an opportunity to come out here to the beach and hang out on their day off with a beach party. Just so many great things that these kids, coaches, and parents get a chance to experience during championship week.
Yeah, Chad, Rutgers was fun last, right? We were in a D1 stadium, but it was raining coldy while we were filming that draw show last year. 72 degrees. In a suit in October right here. I think, Steve, going back to where the talent's gone to, if you remember, it wasn't long ago, the tournament's been going on in its 9th year now, 5 years in Naples. It wasn't long ago that one tournament, 1 year, had Trevor Lawrence, Matt Corral, JT Daniels, all as quarterbacks in this tournament. So when people ask me, where is this tournament gone? I think the level of talent has increased every year because of those forefathers that came and played in it previously.
No doubt about it. Now you have partners like Adidas that have come down here and partnered with us. Gatorade, right? Some of the biggest partners. Yep. Flow Sports is going to be, which we'll talk about more in this, are going to be televising and live streaming all the regional games and the championship games this year. And of course, we're going to be having our future showcase down here, 6th grade through 9th grade, the 200 top players that are come down here and do a showcase with us. And of course, Matt Lauer's done a great job with our National Invitational.
The
other Matt Lauer, exactly, not to be confused at. But the 8U and 10U is going to have 16 teams at each level playing in a National Invitational. And we have a waiting list now. So are we going to go to 16 teams next year maybe?
Maybe.
Maybe.
So 8U and 10U, we've got the FBU National Championship Tournament. I know that we've got something really special for the top ninth graders around the country as well.
The game, powered by Adidas. The freshman game's just gone to a whole new. Well, every year we come down here, 6'5", 300-pound linemen walking through the lobby. People are wondering if they're at the wrong tournament. We got some of our 8th grade teams wondering, I don't have to play that team do it. No, you don't have to play that team. But a year ago they were in this thing. But out of the 60 players, 30 with multiple Division I offers, and usually when we leave here, then the offers start rolling in for those guys.
The MVP last year, right? He actually got 6 offers within a month, 6 SEC offers within a month after being named the MVP. So amazing setting, 3,500 people in the stands, national television. Stage couldn't be bigger for these freshmen.
FBU National Championship Tournament, far more than just football. And now it's time to break down the East bracket. Coming up after the break, we're going to tell you who's playing who in the Atlantic as well as the Northeast. It's the 2019 FBU National Championship Tournament Draw Show.
We know how to play hard in Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades. On the beaches and on the greens. Downriver and downtown. In our restaurants and in the end zone. Come play your hardest, then take time to explore paradise. Naples, Marco Island, and the Everglades, Florida's Paradise Coast.
Welcome back, my friends. Over the last 2 days, we have taken a look at both the West and the Midwest. Now, though, it's time to break down the East. Erik, one of my favorite things about what we do here at the FBU National Championship Tournament is we give student athletes from all across the nation somewhat equal standing with a chance to make it down here to the Paradise Coast. Why is it that we choose to do a draw as opposed to seeding the kids?
Well, Chad, 32 teams, and a lot of these teams come back each year, and so we don't want Massachusetts to have to play Maryland every year, or Massachusetts to have to play New Jersey in the first game every year in the regionals, and so we shake it up. You got a 25% chance that you might play that team in the same opening day.
Correct.
But it shakes it up. We like it so well that when they qualify for the quarterfinals, we shake it up again. So we don't have Seattle versus Orange County every year. We don't have Dallas versus Kentucky. We don't have GFL or Georgia team versus one of the Florida teams right out of the chute. Not to say that it's not going to happen, but we throw them in a bucket, we redraw again.
Let's get started with the East bracket. As we take a look at the Atlantic, Carolina, Delaware, Maryland Metro, Virginia. In the Northeast, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and Rhode Island. And to help us with the East, we'll kick it inside to COO of Collier County, Mr. Nick Casalanguida.
Delaware. Carolina. Virginia. Maryland Metro. New Jersey. Massachusetts. Connecticut. Rhode Island.
The East bracket, gentlemen, is highly intriguing.
Well, you know, you got Steve, you got the Massachusetts team with P.J. Van Wright that's been, 10 appearances in 9 years, 10 championship appearances and everything, and they've produced a talent, unmatched anywhere. You had last year's defensive MVP from the freshman game, Tyler Martin, who dominated. Khalil Mullins is a 2020 All-American, that linebacker that played with them. Even going way back to Blake Gallagher and Mike Silva, that first year when they got to the Final Four.
They're probably seniors in college now. Mike at Harvard, right?
Yep.
And Blake Gallagher is
Northwestern.
Two great players there, and PJ really does it right. I mean, at the end of the day, you can say what you want about Massachusetts football, right? He has single-handedly, with that team out there, built Massachusetts football, right, from the ground up. Right, from the middle school. I liken it a little bit to Team Kentucky. He really makes it a state team.
Yeah, the FBU team mass is unparalleled in that
easily
part.
the best track record thus far. Again, this is what makes it so great. All teams are 0-0, but that team mass, every year they come down here, and the parents, the families travel with them as well.
But the other thing you got to say too is we talk about this all the time. I know it's getting away from the actual athletes, but they're organized, right? The administratively, from the top to the bottom, logistics. Cindy DiPlacido, what she does with as the head team mom out there, organizing and making sure that all logistics are taken care of every year. Never a problem with them, and it's one of the reasons I think that PJ and his group can concentrate 100% on winning football games.
Let's talk about Jersey. You spent the last 3 to 4 years up there getting them on board and so somewhat straight. I'm gonna praise his wares and talk about who you handed that thing over to.
Well, I'll tell you what. The Mumfords have done a great job. Keith Mumford and his wife, they call her Miss Mo. She's really the backbone behind that program. And you got the coaches, Sean Penna at the 8th grade team, who's kind of the pope at Bergen Catholic right now. And he takes care of the 8th grade team, and R.J. Cobbs is the 6th and 7th grade at the 6th and 7th grade teams, and they have really organized New Jersey out there. For a long time, it's been split. They didn't get an opportunity to get the best kids. They're practicing now, and they're doing their tryouts at Rutgers. They've really, built another level there. So I look at last year, they took a step. They won one game out there in Massachusetts. I look this year as them taking the next step. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a New Jersey team down here in Naples this year.
And as we take a look now at the Atlantic side of that, of course, for years and years, there was one name that came out of the Atlantic. That was Team Maryland. Times have changed, though, as Maryland Metro.
Yeah, I mean, they put out the Antoine Littletons, the Colin Heinrichs of the world that are now in high school ball, all the way back to DeJuan Ellis. But they've disappeared. They've left. I don't know why. Maybe it was too tough of a tournament. They hadn't won it in a couple years. But so now, you still got the talent in Maryland, right, with Maryland Metro and what Rusty's bringing in together.
Yep.
Right across the state line, Virginia, and Jawan Banks is a national name in what he's doing. And then let's not forget about the slow, steady build that's going on in Delaware.
I tell you,
Dan Black
has done an amazing job. He's got an 8U team in there. He's got a 10U team. He started that 2 years ago, which means those kids are now 6th graders. They're now 7th graders. They'll be their first year. He's really building something out there that's going to be interesting over the next couple of years.
You speak to with PJ is doing in the organization, and you're seeing the same things out of Dan Black and this Delaware team, like you said, starting from the 8 and 10U and moving all the way up.
Yeah, I mean, there is a missing persons report on Terrence Bird and Mike Anderson. So if anybody sees them out there, we're still here in Naples.
Kicking back, 72 degrees here in Naples, Florida. Hey, but getting back to the bracket though, I can't say enough about what Kevin Holmes has done. I mean, he's really built himself a little empire out there. He had to go against the Team Maryland's in first year, and he got a team down here.
Yep.
Right.
And
now
what a game.
Exactly. So now he's down here. He's looking to probably bring 2 teams down here or 3 teams next year. Coach Voigt out there, what they do
he
at
showed
Calvert
up
Hall
on Tuesday night to play the rest of the game.
They did do that, and don't forget. I mean, Rusty, right? He breathes and he sleeps youth football. This is the first year, but he knows what it did for Mike Anderson and Bird and now Maryland Metro. I'm not going to be surprised in a couple of years that you don't hear more about Team Virginia.
Sure, and one of the greatest things, obviously, I have an opportunity to see these student athletes, these coaches in person. Whether you're talking about Kevin Holmes, whether you're speaking of Rusty Marklin, and previously whether you're speaking of Terrence Bird in the FBU National Championship Tournament as well, these coaches care about the kids.
100%.
They care about the kids not only on the football field, but they care about them off of it as well. And again, those are the things that make the FBU National Championship Tournament different than some of
Well,
the
you
rest.
know, these guys aren't doing it for the money. They're
Correct.
volunteering their time. The Birds, the Andersons, the Kevin Holmes, the Rusties, right? PJs, all those guys, they're devoting their time, right? It's their number one hobby, and they treat this like a full-time job, like a business, and they've done a wonderful job at it. Just look at what the records show.
No matter which of these squads that you're talking about, each of them will have an opportunity to make it down here to the Paradise Coast. This, of course, is Naples, Florida. This is the FBU National Championship Tournament 2019 Draw Show.
Drive home safely. See you next season.
American Bowl is brought to you by Football University. FBU, bringing former NFL coaches and players from all around the country.
The 2019 FBU National Championship Tournament, Steve Quinn, the path to Naples just got a lot clearer.
The sun, the fun, the swimsuits, Flow Sports, Adidas, all of it right here in the Paradise Coast. What more can you ask for?
And it's the experience that this lovely city provides to the families and the student athletes.
But before we talk about the experience, where's Erik Richards?
Did he go to change his shoes again? I mean, it was
Again?
like
Who?
Did somebody say a true national championship? It's only played one place in Naples, Florida. The FBU National Championship.